How's it going, guys? Today we're going to talk about the very basics of triggers, and I'm going to show you how to make pre-captured or automatically captured tech right away. So the first thing we're going to do is create our building. So, whatever it is, maybe a machine shop, right? We'll give each player a machine shop. As you can see, I have player 0, player 1 here. Each one gets a machine shop. They start pretty close to each other. A map with nothing on it. I go into edit and I go into trigger editor. Now this is where all the fun and interesting stuff start happening. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new trigger. Next thing I'm going to do is give it a name. So this is going to be called pre-cap player A. Alright, so this is going to be the pre-capture trigger for this player, player A. 0 is A, 1 is B, 2 is C, and so on and so forth. Now the name is just for you. It has nothing to do with the actual actions that happen and events, but this name is just so that you keep track. Listen, this trigger, because some apps you're going to have 100 triggers, you're going to want to name them very, very carefully. Alright, we're not going to get into any of these yet. We're going to start very simple. In this screen, all you want to do is give it a name. Next is gonna events. Now, event could be called a condition. What needs to happen for this trigger to actually fire, to actually work? So you always need a condition. You always need an event. You can go into the list of events here and start playing around. Some of these are very, very obvious and very easy to understand. Some are harder. We personally, for this example, we're going to use 8. Sorry, we're going to use 8, any event, right? Which is when used alone, it will force the trigger to spring immediately. This trigger will just happen right away. No condition needs to happen. Right? As soon as the game starts, this trigger happens. It happens, right? It gets triggered. Next, we'll go into action. What is the action we're trying to achieve? What are we trying to do here? All right, and as you can see, there's a lot of options here. Personally, in this example, we're going to be using number 14, change house. All right, changes the owning a house to the one specified for the attached objects. So which house do we want? We want player A. All right, because we made pre-cap player A, and that's it. The trigger is ready to go. We are going to have to attach it to the building in a second, but the trigger is ready to go. Now, this is all for player A. What I'm going to do is clone the trigger. In the name, I'm going to change it to player B instead of player A. Events, exactly the same. I want it to happen immediately. And actions, and I still want it to be change house, but I want to change it to player B in this case. So I have pre-cap player A, pre-cap player B, 2 triggers that are ready. How do I attach it to the actual objects? How do I tell the game, listen, I want these buildings to be captured? I double click on the building, and in the bottom there's an attach tag option. I go into that and I say pre-cap player A, and that's it. This tech machine shop will be pre-captured for this player at the start of the game. All right, let's do the same thing here for number 2, pre-cap player B. So player A is going to get this one, player B is going to get this one. Let's save the map and see what happens. So save as. I want to go into the custom folder, so it's in maps, custom. We're going to call it pre-cap test. And never forget the .map, of course. And we're going to call it pre-cap test. Okay, great. We're ready to go. I'm going to open up the client here. Type in load map. Pre-cap test. Find the map. Pre-cap test. There it is. And let's just put 2 AIs here real quick. We'll go spectator, and we'll slow down the game just a little bit. Let's have a look and see if they actually get their tech buildings at the beginning of the game. As you can see, this one's yellow, this player got it, this one's blue, player B got it, and that is how you do pre-capture tech ahead of time with triggers. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll catch you guys next time.